It's 1981. You're born in a town of 2,000 people in Louisiana, where everyone knows everyone, nobody leaves. And the most exciting thing that happens on a Tuesday is the neighbor painted his mailbox. The sky is blue, the summers are humid, and the tension in your house has a temperature that kids shouldn't have to learn to read, but you learn early. Your dad drinks. When he drinks, he disappears. When he comes back, it's worse than if he hadn't come back at all. Your mom screams at a man who can't respond because he can't. You learn to fall asleep to that sound. Years later, you learn to call it childhood. There's a family story nobody tells out loud, but that hangs in the air of the house. Your paternal grandmother, Emma Jean, you inherited her middle name, was committed to a psychiatric facility by her own husband in the 1960s. They gave her lithium by force. She took her own life. Your dad Jamie grew up knowing that, carrying that. With that as his model of what happens to the women in this family when someone decides they no longer get to choose. You're 3 years old and you're dancing in the living room. You don't know any of that yet. At 8, your mom takes you to the Mickey Mouse Club audition. They say, you're too young. The producer loves you anyway. He sets you up with an agent in New York. At 11, you audition again. This time they take you. On that set, at the same time, are Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, and you. Ryan Gosling is there too, but that's a different movie. The point is, the universe put 3 of the people who will define the next 20 years of music in the same rehearsal room, and none of you have any idea yet. Justin is 12. You're 11. One night the cast has a sleepover and plays Truth or Dare. Someone dares him to kiss you. Janet Jackson is playing in the background. He leans in. Hold on to that moment. You're going to need it to understand everything that comes after. The show gets canceled. You go back home. You're bored. At 15, your mom sends a tape of you singing Whitney Houston karaoke to a manager. 3 labels pass. The 4th Jive Records signs you. At 17, on the 28th of September, 1998, Baby One More Time drops. The director wanted to do it animated, like Power Rangers in space. You look at him and say, no, a school, bored girls in class. The schoolgirl outfit was your idea. They bought the clothes at Kmart. Nothing cost more than $17. The most iconic music video of your generation came from a Kmart budget and an idea of yours that nobody asked for. The album sells 25 million copies. The best-selling debut by an artist under 18 inches history. Nobody's broken that record. You're 17 years old, and you are literally the best-selling artist on the planet. Justin and you find each other again in 1999. They're not Mickey Mouse Club kids anymore. They're 2 of the most famous people on Earth, and both of them know exactly what they feel. They start dating. They're the couple of the millennium. At the 2001 American Music Awards, they coordinate full denim outfits head to toe. You call it a Southern thing down South moms dress their kids the same for church. The world calls it the most baffling outfit in awards show history. Both things are true. They both cheat on each other during the relationship. The press knows. The press chooses to blame only you. Interviews ask about your breasts, while they ask him about his music. You noticed. You wrote it down. You never forgot. And then you get pregnant. Justin says you're not ready. The abortion happens at your house. He's on the bathroom floor with you, playing guitar. You describe it in your book as one of the most agonizing things I ever went through. Not because of the decision, because of the loneliness of that moment with the guitar in the background. In 2002, the relationship falls apart. Both of them cheated. But the public narrative that gets built is one-sided. You're the cheater. You broke the golden boy of America's heart. Justin releases Cry Me a River with a look-alike of you in the video, and without saying your name, turns you into the villain of his album in front of 50 million people. How you find out the relationship is over? A text message. The Diane Sawyer interview. Millions of people watch it live. Sawyer looks you in the eyes and asks, with complete calm, whether you were responsible for breaking Justin's heart. Not, what happened between you two? Not, how are you doing? The question is, isn't this your fault? You cry on camera. You can't speak. The world takes it as proof that you're unstable. Nobody registers that you just got interrogated on national television about whether you deserve to be left. That same year, At the VMAs, you kiss Madonna on the mouth live on stage. The entire planet loses its mind. And that same year, in the middle of all of that, with a broken heart, with the press tearing you apart, at 21 years old, you record Toxic. Spy movie strings from the 1960s, Bhangra electronics from South Asia. Your voice processed in a way nobody had done before in pop. Toxic is, technically, one of the best constructed songs in the history of the genre. The critics who spent years dismissing you will take a decade to admit it, but they will. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranks it number 26 on their list of the greatest songs of all time. Number 26. Above songs by Led Zeppelin, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson. You did that at 21, fresh out of a breakup broadcast on national television, while everyone was saying you were already finished. You win the Grammy for Best Dance Recording in 2005. It's your only Grammy. One trophy for the best-selling artist of your generation. That says something, but about the industry, not about you. January 2004, Las Vegas. Your childhood friend Jason Alexander, 3 inches the morning. Alcohol. Drugs from A to Z. According to him. Someone says, "What if we got married?" He goes for it. They go to the little white wedding chapel. They get married. The wedding photo. You in jeans and a baseball cap. 55 hours later, the marriage is annulled. The judge writes that you lacked understanding of your actions. The world treats it like the joke of the year. Nobody asks if you were okay. That same year, you meet Kevin Federline, former backup dancer for Justin Timberlake. Cornrows. He already has a daughter with another woman and is expecting another child when you meet him. You propose to him on a private jet. He says no. Then he says yes. The wedding is at a party where the guests thought it was a barbecue. Nobody knew it was a wedding until you walked out in white. 2 kids in 2 years. Sean Preston, 2005. Jaden James, 2006. The press destroys you with every photo. They photograph you driving with your baby in your lap. You were trying to escape paparazzi who had surrounded your car. Headline: Britney puts her son in danger. The baby falls from his stroller in New York. Headline: Britney nearly kills her baby. They photograph you getting out of a car without underwear. Headline: Britney spirals out of control. Everything is a headline. Everything is ammunition. In November 2006, you file for divorce. Kevin gets the kids most of the time, and you, for the first time in your adult life, are alone. And then starts the era the world will remember forever. Not for the music, for the photos. 2006 and 2007, you, Paris Hilton, and Lindsay Lohan. The 3 of you go out together. Paparazzi follow in packs. Some nights there are more photographers outside the club than people inside. The photos run the next day in every outlet in the world. Half-closed eyes, a smile that never reaches your eyes, your body there but your gaze somewhere else entirely. The world calls it partying. People who know how to read faces call it something else. One night, you get out of a car and the cameras catch everything. No underwear. The image travels around the world in hours. Nobody asks why a woman who has been followed around the clock for months looks like she's disappearing from the inside. But meanwhile, and this is what the world never quite understood, you're recording Blackout. Blackout comes out in October 2007. It's recorded during the worst year of your life. Without your kids, with Sam Lutfi living in your house, with paparazzi camping out in your yard, with a mind that everyone around you says wasn't okay. And yet the album is now considered one of the most influential records in the history of electronic pop. It anticipated by years what Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Lady Gaga would go on to do. The critics who dismissed it when it came out have spent a decade walking it back. You made it while you were drowning. Nobody noticed because they were too busy photographing the drowning. Your Aunt Sandra dies of ovarian cancer in January 2007. You lose custody of your kids. Sam Lutfi shows up and moves into your house, cuts the landlines, takes your phone chargers. Your mom later writes that he ground up pills and put them in your food. He denies everything. On the 16th of February, 2007, you walk into a hair salon in Tarzana, California. You ask the stylist to shave your head. He refuses. You pick up the clippers yourself. You shave your own head. The paparazzi photograph everything from the window. The images are out that same night. The shaved head, the fixed stare in the mirror, the clippers in your hands. It becomes the most reproduced photo of your entire career. More than any album cover, more than any award. The world uses it as proof that you've lost your mind. What you said when the stylist asked you why. I don't want anyone touching me. I'm tired of everyone touching me. What nobody mentioned. That same night, you went to a tattoo parlor. You got a cross tattooed on your hip, a pair of lips on your wrist. The salon and the tattoos in the same night. It wasn't self-destruction. It was a woman writing on her own body because it was the only thing she felt still belonged to her. It wasn't a breakdown. It was the only language you had left. Days later, at a gas station, photographers surround your car. You get out holding a green umbrella. You hit the paparazzo's car with it. You scream at him. The cameras catch every second. The photographer keeps the umbrella. Years later, he auctions it off. October 2007, sheriff's deputies show up at your house to carry out the custody order. They're there to take your kids. You lock yourself in the bathroom with them for hours. Outside, there are deputies, lawyers, cameras, news helicopters. Inside, there's a mother who knows that when she opens that door, she's going to lose her children, and she's using whatever minutes she has left. When you finally open the door, the deputies take Sean and Jaden. The cameras film all of it. That night, the footage runs on every channel. 2 psychiatric hospitalizations in the months that follow. Photos of the ambulance, photos of the stretcher, photos of the hospital door. All of it documented, all of it published, all of it consumed. And in August of 2007, somewhere between the bathroom and the hospitalizations, the VMAs, your official return to the stage, the entire world watching. Gimme More starts. You're there, physically, in the outfit, but something isn't. Your eyes don't quite focus. The moves come a beat late. The choreography you used to do in your sleep now looks like it costs you everything. The world calls it the worst performance in VMA history. Every blog, every show, every commentator lining up to explain that Britney Spears is finished. What nobody said. You're not failing. You're disappearing. Here's the part that sounds like a conspiracy theory, but has emails with dates and timestamps. While you were falling apart in public, something had been in the works in private for years. Since at least 2005, 2 years before the hair salon, your dad Jamie and a business manager named Lou Taylor had been planning the conservatorship. There are emails. Lou Taylor writes, "I have fought for Jamie for 3 years, fasted and prayed with him every week. Jamie owes her company $40,000 at the time." Days before the court hearing, Jamie receives a $40,000 loan from Lou Taylor's company. He never discloses it to the judge. The most disturbing email is from Jamie's attorney, written before the hearing, shopping for the right judge. It reads, "We have a problem with the judge assignment. The only judge available on Friday is the one who will not give Jamie the power to administer psychotropic drugs to Britney." They weren't looking for the fairest judge. They were looking for the judge who would let them medicate you by force. On the 1st of February 2008, while you're hospitalized, a judge approves the conservatorship in 10 minutes. Your dad, the man who drank, disappeared, and told you as a little girl that you were fat now has full legal control over your body, your money, your life. You are 26 years old. What that means in practice, because this needs to be said slowly, you receive an allowance of $2,000 a week from your own money. $2,000 per week. You, the highest earning female pop artist on the planet. Every text you send from your iPhone goes to your father's iPad. Every note, every search. A former security firm employee later testifies that Jamie would confront him. "Why did you text this person?" There is a hidden microphone in your bedroom. There are 180 hours of recordings of your private conversations with your boyfriend and your children. Illegal recordings. When they find out a court inspection is scheduled, someone asks for the files to be deleted. You can't see whoever you want. You can't hire your own lawyer. You can't get married. You can't have more children. The conservatorship team refuses to let you have your IUD removed. Your uterus has an owner, and it isn't you. When you refuse to do a second Las Vegas residency, your psychiatrist abruptly switches you to lithium. No explanation, no consent. the same drug they forced on your grandmother Emma Jean in that psychiatric facility decades earlier. Your statement in court: I didn't know where I was or who I was sometimes. I felt drunk. I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't speak. And yet on lithium, unable to choose anything, with a microphone in your room you fill stadiums, 250 shows in Las Vegas, $138 million in 4 years. The California court system considers you incapable of making your own decisions. At the same time, it requires you to sell out arenas every week. In 2019, they put you in a facility at $60,000 a month against your will. You can't close your bedroom door. You can't shower in private. They draw your blood weekly. In court, you compare it to sex trafficking. Those are your words, not the fans, not the documentaries. Yours. At some point during all of this, your father tells you, I am Britney Spears now. What's happening outside while you're trapped inside with no way to speak? A movement. Number. Free Britney. It starts on internet forums. It reaches the streets. It goes global. In 2021, Framing Britney Spears comes out and the entire world stops and watches and realizes that what it spent years doing was laughing at a woman who was being crushed in real time, in public, with cameras rolling. On the 23rd of June, 2021, for the first time in 13 years, you speak in court. 24 minutes. The whole world listens. I've been lying and telling the whole world I'm okay when I'm not. I am traumatized. I cry every day. I want to sue my family. I want my life back. On the 12th of November, 2021, Judge Brenda Penny ends the conservatorship. Your tweet that night: best day ever. The epilogue is the most honest chapter of all. You marry Sam Asghari in June 2022. Guest list: Madonna, Paris Hilton, Selena Gomez, Drew Barrymore. Not on the guest list: your dad, your mom, your sister, your kids. Your biological family is not invited to your own wedding. Jason Alexander, yes, the 5'5", our husband, tries to crash it with a knife. He gets arrested at the door. In 2023, you publish The Woman in Me. 1 million copies in the first week. Sam files for divorce that same year, 14 months in. Your mom, Lynn, who lived in a 6,500 square foot mansion you built for her, sends you a bill for $660,000 in legal fees she incurred during the conservatorship. In February 2026, you sell your music catalog for somewhere between $150 and $200 million. In March 2026, you're pulled over for driving under the influence in Ventura County, California, alone, at night. This story could end with emotional music and "but you survived" in big text on screen. But the truth is something else. The truth is Rihanna is worth $1.4 billion. Taylor Swift, $740 million. You, who sold more records than any woman of your generation, have $130 million after selling your entire catalog. The gap between what you generated and what you kept has names and surnames, has emails with dates, has a father who said, I am Britney Spears now, and believed it for 13 years. The truth is, nobody went to prison. The conservatorship changed the law in California. They call it the Britney effect, but the people who designed it never faced trial. And the truth is that the girl who at 17 pitched the schoolgirl outfit, who recorded Toxic with a broken heart and blackout while she was drowning, who shaved her head in a hair salon in Tarzana because it was the only way left to say, enough, that girl is still here. Driving alone at night in California, free, a mess, human, as if nobody stole anything from her, even though we all know they did.